Hello there, and a very good afternoon. Welcome to Sports City, your home of sports analysis, both local and international. I'm very happy for you to join us this afternoon. Remember, I'm your host, Bill Clinton Odhiambo, alongside my colleague, Elvis Ramagani Ndugu. How are you doing today?
Thank you very much. Hello, and I'm very well. We'll be interacting more. I know I've been missing, but this is an opportunity for us to
Right.
enjoy and really watch football. I know yesterday we have a lot of analysis, and we are not worried. We'll be together. So also comment on our social media platform and follow us on Facebook and also on other social media platform. Thank
Yes,
you.
indeed. Our channels of communication are officially open. 081 980 is our SMS and WhatsApp number. Also, just like Elvis has mentioned, be sure to contact us through our socials at Science TV Kenya. My sign language interpreters this afternoon are Gideon Maina and Esther Kendi. Just like Elvis has mentioned, we have a lot to talk about. Remember, of course, yesterday's disappointment ahead of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifications. Harambee Stars fell to the Scorpions, that is of Gambia, where Kenya were beaten 3-1 by Gambia. We're going to talk about that. Of course, it's a painful experience because many of us had really, hoped that we will soar to greater heights and perhaps be the first team under Benny McCarthy to qualify for the FIFA World Cup. We're going to talk about that in depth, but also we have to talk about the lifeline experience that have been offered to the 25 selected members of the Safaricom Chapa Dimba, Chapa Dimba initiative that they are supposed to go to represent the country for a 7-day, should I say, camp, sports boot camp in Spain. We're going to talk about that, Elvis, the kind of opportunity that this means ahead for our players, or for our youngsters, as we have seen. Also, today, still focusing on local matters or local news, we are going to delve into the technical committee that has been formed to review sports in Kenya or sports in the country. This was made earlier in the week. This was formed earlier in the week by His Excellency President William Ruto. We are going to assess the pros and the cons. Of course, we are also inviting you into the conversation. Be part of it through our social media, that is our communication channels. And finally, we are going to also assess the announcement also made by the president on the increment in athletes' allowances. Remember, it changed figures from if you're going to represent the country in any tournament and get, for example, the gold price was changed from 750,000 to 3 million Kenya shillings. What does that kind of boost mean for the future of athletes in Kenya? And it has been a clear indication from the government or from the administration currently that they are going all in matters of sports in the country. So we have a host of conversations to talk about this afternoon. So be sure to be part of the team. Elvis, let's now begin with yesterday's disappointment. 3-1 loss against Gambia. What is your take on that particular performance by the Harambee Stars?
Thank you very much. Honestly, we were very motivated about Kenya winning again.
Right.
But I really wondered, and for them, through the motivation that they got from winning Chan, it could have had a motivation and the push and the drive
Right.
to win against Gambia. But it was a very great disappointment. 3-1 on our home ground, it was really a disappointment. But I believe Kenya can do better and can do better more than that. But I think the coach needs to really look on the talent and to see on how to position themselves very well, and also to pull out the international players.
Right. Olunga. Yes.
The likes of Olunga,
Right.
Ouma,
Right.
you see, to pull them off so that we can see on our local players, to see the balance, to strike the balance on our local players,
Right.
and also put in the push so that we can have a score. Because 3-1 is very disappointed in our home ground, honestly.
Right.
So I think, but we need to congratulate them for their team spirit and also their work that they did. So I think if we have another game,
Yes.
I'm sure we will come out with a win.
All right. Indeed, that particular sentiment, the fact that, and I understand the frustration, because many of us are fans. Of course, if you were at the stadium yesterday, there were those questions of why wouldn't the coach field in the same squad that played in the CHAN 2024 tournaments. But his sentiments are really clear. And I think one particular statement that he made, and we are going to take a look on that particular, his post-reaction comments. He mentioned the fact that should he had played the same squad, similar players that played in the CHAN 2024, then we could have lost by even a margin of 10-0. Because coming from a coach like his experience, you can understand where he's coming from, because he cited key players, because he mentioned the fact that he could have wanted many players to come in and represent the country yesterday, but things like injuries, so, were really detrimental to some of the players. Most of them were not fully fit, and even their clubs, their host clubs, this is something they shared with the coach, saying that should they come over and play and represent the country, then the injuries could be further worsened. So it was a case of, work with what you have, but also try and get positive results, because we can all agree that it was a learning experience for the players. Not many of them had really interacted have not really interacted with top international players, because, for example, when you look at Gambia's squad, they had top well professionals from the international scene, players like Yakub Minte, who plays for Brighton, for example. You can imagine from him having to dismantle Manchester City, then coming over to Africa to play for the FIFA World Cup qualifiers, and he really goes ahead and scores the second goal for Gambia as well. It was more like a training ground for him right here in the country. But then again, those are the key details that the coach maybe pinpoint. But the big question is how should we then go forward, realizing that we have the African Cup of Nations coming real soon. How do you think the coach should now do to try and gel these players together ahead of such an important tournament coming up ahead, and others as well?
Okay, thank you. My opinion and my idea, I really support the Gambia. The standard for Gambia was really high.
Right.
If the government of Kenya can support and make sure that we have some international players, the Kenyan league is not like the standard is very not
right.
Very good.
Yeah.
So I think there is only one person who was selected to join an international team.
Right.
So if the government can really work and collaborate with FIFA so that they can support the Kenyan players, because the president of FIFA recently flew to Kenya for the final of CHAN. Yeah. So I think from his expertise and others from Dubai, other leagues from Dubai and Saudi Arabia can really see a potential in Kenya. So and also others from Man City, a player from Gambia from Brighton who scored against Man City and beat Man City last weekend. So I think if our Kenyans are being exposed to these international matches, from my opinion, I think the fear will be gone. And again, they will really score to the highest. Because Kenya has been very disappointing, and it has been a shame for a long time for Kenyan losing matches.
Right.
So I think the CHAN tournament, the CHAN group, and the international one will come. Can come and really support Kenyans and also select some Kenyans so that they can play international matches, so that we can they can get experience and also gel in with the local players.
Yes.
I think they need training, because I think for a month training will be good, so that they can gel in with the local players, and also to have friendly matches so that we can see their improvement, because as we can see, the previous matches, the Kenyans scored 3-3 against Gambia. So they really need to work on their position and their training, and the coach really need to help the players gel in well, so that they can perform in their topest level. So coach can see the defense and see the mistake, so that he can change early, so that we can avoid a lot of mistakes. And maybe if they will be lucky, if for a good luck, it could have. We wish to have. We wished it to be a draw, but that was a concern. So for fans who are supporting Harambee Stars, please don't be disappointed. Continue support them, and also pushing the coach so that he can feel the pressure from the fan also, and also the pressure for the players. But I know we love we love football, but we are very disappointed. But we take it as a lesson, as a positive lesson. But let the coach continue doing his work, and we hope that the next match it will be a positive result, because we really love our team Kenya, and we want to have a lot of friendlies, international friendlies, so that the team can be strong and also raise their standard also. Because if they get a competition with the whites, and you see like Uganda in Zimbabwe, is it Mozambique or Uganda? South Sudan, the one that scored 4-0.
Yes.
Mozambique. Mozambique and Uganda 4-0. Yes. You see, I mean, comparing that one and Kenya, it was. And I know Team Kenya is a strong team than Uganda, so I think their passing, they needed to work on their passing so that they can move forward and also score against other teams. I know we've been losing for a long time, and it has been a negative result. But right now, seeing at the players, we believe coach who came from Manu will be bringing his experience and his qualities, and combining with the training and the international training, so that we can see how we can gel and also improve our team. So I believe in 1 month, everything will be working well and Kenya can improve. So it was just one game yesterday, a disappointment. But I think for the next match, I think it will be a positive result.
That is a very crucial point, and of course we are going to talk about the development area aspect later on in our bulletin, or when we talk about the committee formed by the president. But it is quite important, of course, to note the fact that time is needed, time is needed we need time to give to the coach to try and work with his players. That pressure. Of course, we as the 12th man of the game, as fans, we will always want to win, without understanding probably that there are really key factors that need to be put into consideration. How the players are really connecting with each other, because you can remember in a case, for example, where coach Benny McCarthy has continued to dismiss any conversation about Austin Odhiambo, the former, not the former, but one of the players that really played in the CHAN tournament. But we are hearing reports of misbehavior that forced him out of the squad, and he's now losing touch with the coach. Such kind of behaviors is something a new management, like for example the coach, will not want to allow into the dressing room, perhaps, to try and affect other different players. So time is really needed to coach Ben McCarthy, but also the question is how long, because this is a game of football, and football is all about results. But also, quite importantly, he did not it was very vocal about the fact that despite it was not a factor of tactics, but then again he praised the fact that Gambia have a good squad, a well-oiled, a well-gelled team, and the coach for Gambia, the former Gor Mahia coach, that is Jonathan McKinstry, also noted this. And first of all, congratulations to Team Gambia, and he went ahead and said that he acknowledges the fact that Kenya is really making crucial steps, especially the Kenyan government, to try and support local football. It might have come at a later stage because everyone will talk about all these initiatives coming earlier, but we are getting what we deserve at the moment. And he acknowledged this and gave his flowers to the government, because he was once a coach here with Gor Mahia. He understands the frameworks and how the challenges that the current the country is facing as far as the development of football is concerned. But he also noted the fact that they came very prepared. And I don't know, do you have positives on how Gambia played? What can you make of their tactics, for example? How they came in knowing that at the end of the day they needed the desired 3 points, because also in the table they were not they're not favorites. They were not favorites because this win gave them 7 points, only a point now ahead of us because we have 6 points on the table. What stood out for you in that particular Gambia's style of play yesterday against Kenya?
Thank you. For the Gambia team, their experience and the coach is the reason why, the coach was a former Gor Mahia coach. Yes, and he has been in Kenya. So he knows about Gor Mahia and he knows about Harambee Stars and also about Kakamega.
The Kenyan style of play.
Yes, and the Kenya League. So I think we really thank Kenya government for the support, but I think it's good maybe, and I believe the coach is really interested and motivated about the Kenyan team,
right,
and also about the Kenyan league. So we see there is no politics in football as much. So I feel coach was very disappointed about politics interference, but I think from the Gambian side, it was a good thing, and to face Kenyan team, I don't think there was a lot of negatives. I think the Gambian team has a lot of experience than Kenyan, and we give them their flowers for the skills and the confidence that they had. Plus, the coach wasn't very doubtful. He knew he had the confidence with the team. So I feel like he knew the Kenyan team was a strong team, but I think they slept on defense. So I think they should have started with number 11 on the sides, so that probably they can kick in the motivation. But on the assist and on the position, the Gambia team was very good. So right, I think it was better than the Kenyan team.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, 3 goals at first half in favor of Gambia made them win 3-1 against Kenya. Coach Jonathan McKinstry calls it a crucial step ahead of the FIFA 2026 World Cup qualification. Coach Benny McCarthy looks at it as a learning experience ahead of his new leadership in Harambee Stars. As far as Harambee Stars is concerned, with the 12th man, look at it as a big disappointment against a team that we could have really played really fairly. But after a 3-3 first leg of the qualifiers, it was a 3-1 disappointment yesterday. It goes out to Gambia. Of course, we are going to wait and see how. The next challenge for Harambee Stars Kenya will be on the 9th. This is on Tuesday against Seychelles. This is another qualifying fixture for them. But then again, it's after that devastating loss against Gambia. You can imagine that this is now, it will be more of playing for the badge or playing for the pride, because qualifications chances of qualifying are really are very slim. And maybe Elvis, do you have any predictions? Do you see us now taking our frustrations, that humiliating loss against Gambia, and now inflicting the pain on Seychelles?
Thank you very much. I don't think it will be another disappointment. I think this is a wake-up call. And on Tuesday, I believe Kenya will have a very great improvement to beat Seychelles,
Right.
so that we can garner the 3 points. So I think because Seychelles is number 5,
Right.
so I don't think it has many points. I think if we really push hard, Kenya can really improve and beat Seychelles, probably score 3-1, or it will
Gambia.
it will be. You see, for Gambia it was 3-1. So I think for us it will be a punishment for Seychelles, so that we can score for 5, because it's a wake-up call, and
Right.
we're really motivated because we are on our home ground.
Yes.
It's on our home ground, so this means
Yes.
Kenya needs to do their best, work on the position.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
I know players like Austin have been suspended by the coach because of the disciplinary actions.
Right.
So I think Kenya can really beat Seychelles. We are not anticipating for another disappointment. We are expecting for an improvement,
Right.
and maybe Kenya can feel like this is a wake-up call, so that they can keep the team spirit and wake up. And
Seychelles.
Seychelles is not a very strong team,
Right.
so I think the defense is very weak. So Kenya can really work on the defense, so that they can push Seychelles and really push them, so that they can put some fear in them, so that we can really give in a lot of pressure and pass the ball very early, so that we can avoid a lot of disappointment. I think.
Right.
We are still proud of Kenya. I know for Gambia it was a disappointment, but I believe that for the next match we'll win against Seychelles.
Indeed, it is a wake-up call for Coach Ben McCarthy and his team, and he has to go back to the drawing board now and assess, because I think this is his first big loss with him in charge of the team. He definitely needs now to go back to the drawing board and see how he can try and patch things up and get back to that winning, stance against Seychelles, probably. And we are calling you, dear fans, to also come out and support Team Kenya once again on Tuesday. That is the 9th of September, as they take on Seychelles. Seychelles are, if this should come as a reprieve for anyone, Seychelles are bottom of the table in Group F. Kenya, second bottom, with 6 points. But also just ahead of them is Gambia, who won yesterday, now with 7 points. So it's quite it's quite something to will offer a lifeline for Kenya to try and outbeat their opponents. Now to other rather interesting or rather good news, should I say? Now Kenya's rising football stars are set for an experience of a lifetime as the Safaricom Chapa Dimba All Stars depart for Spain today evening. Now, the squad that consists of 25 boys, that is 13 boys rather, and 12 girls, 25 team, will represent the country in a week-long training camp designed to sharpen their skills and expose them to world-class football. Now, this is quite a big initiative, Elvis. Something that Safaricom has been doing for quite some time, giving hope to youngsters or to the grassroots talent and exposing them to good, should I say, very very important experiences out there. What is your take on this particular, should I say, win?
Okay, thank you very much, and I really congratulate Safaricom for offering this opportunity for the grassroots talent, and this idea to empower the grassroots talent is very good. So I think Safaricom is very focused on talent development from the grassroots. And I know a lot of players were not scouted from Nairobi.
Right.
They were scouted from the grassroots, and this has been a very long initiative for the youth to join, a friendly in German and in Italy, in France, in their league, so that in those lower divisions. So. Thank you, Safaricom, for that good heart, and I believe this is a good initiative to represent Kenya and bring in a good medal, and also it's a wake-up call for government to look at what Safaricom is doing, so that they can emulate and also support the Team Kenya and support the local talent. because our concern is only about, you know, partnership and partnering with these, with some of these initiatives so that they can empower our young people. And we know Safaricom love empowering young people.
Right.
So I believe this training in Spain will sharpen our youngsters, and we hope and we wish them all the best and all the success. And they bring us goodies from Spain, and you know, getting the experience to travel and to show the youngsters an experience outside Kenya. That one will be good. You know, we have a lot of sports, so that Safaricom has been supporting, like rallies, WRCs,
right.
and all that. So it's a very good initiative that Safaricom is doing, and thank you very much, Safaricom, for that.
Without a doubt, it is, because this it is very crucial, because you know, it matters for talent growth. It really gives these young players hope. It empowers them, just like you have mentioned, and from not just from global exposure, we have you know, it gives them also competitive edge, because you know, they are playing against you know, for example, they'll be playing against Huesca's academy out there in Spain. So this gives them that kind of competitive edge to try and learn and witness the professional matches down there in Spain. And you also look at the aspect of mentorship, all right? And for example, accessing top infrastructure and training you know, facilities. This is a combination, this combination of master classes and the training in World Cup facilities. It bridges that gap, you know, between local and local and international and also global possibilities. Because you can remember, you know, some of these players have already been scouted to, you know, top international teams. You know, we've seen the kind of advantage that this kind of initiative gives to these young players. And when you also talk about the another crucial factor, talent, you know, talent development, because this is something that for a very long time it has been ignored right here in the country. Without a doubt, when you just go down to the different parts, what we call the grassroots level, you can see even just in the high school games where, you know, even fans do really throng these areas and support these footballers as young, you know, as they watch them as they come up. So as far as talent development is concerned, success stories of players earning club call-ups and international opportunities to validate the program's effectiveness in creating a credible pathway to professional careers. And of course, you can imagine the holistic growth that this initiative will bring, where it will cultivate cultural, the immersion of cultural and travel, you know, contribute to personal growth. At being able to, you know, be in Spain, see how the football culture is really appreciated, because as far as we saw during the CHAN 2024, you know, fans really came out to try and support the teams, because football is something that unites everybody. But in countries like Spain, this has been, you know, it is much more deeper, because, you know, they show a lot of support even for, you know, the teams, whether you're playing a top team, for example, like Real Madrid are playing a team like Girona, and Real Madrid are away. You can imagine the stadium will be filled by Girona supporters, other than the fact that Real Madrid is a top team. And that is something we'll want to inculcate right here in the country, and copy and also try and embrace, where if you're having Gor Mahia playing against you know, a team like Shabiki, for example, or Shabana, for example, you can imagine the way we've been seeing Shabana FC supporters fill the stadiums right there in Kisii. It's very encouraging, and we'd like to see that replicated across the country. But then again, it comes with the fact that do we have that talent? Are we showcasing that talent so that you can be able to provide that particular lifeline, even to the young, you know, the young players, because they feed off the energy, they feed off the love that the fans are showing generally. So kudos to Safaricom for this particular initiative, because it just goes to show you how we're invested in talent development, in talent growth. And I don't know if my producer, we have that particular segment that we have the players getting prepared to go to Spain, and we can take a look at that particular highlight for you. interesting. We have a lot of local news to talk about today. Now, another key thing that I want us to talk about, Elvis, is the fact that President William Ruto appointed or formed a technical committee, a technical team to help develop sports in Kenya. Just tying to what we are seeing Safaricom doing, do you believe this committee that has been set up by the president will provide a lifeline? And we want to talk about more about that. But I want us to take a quick break. When we get back, we are going to delve more into this particular story, tying it, of course, to what Safaricom is doing. We are moving on to quite another interesting story right here. Earlier on in the week, we have seen that Kenya is taking really crucial steps to unlock the full potential of its sporting talent in the country. President William Ruto has unveiled a new technical committee that brings together government, the Football Kenya Federation, and the private sector to drive a major shakeup in the sports industry. Now, after this particular news, Elvis, there's been a lot of speculation that what will be done differently that hasn't been done already, because despite the previous challenges that we've had, the likes of mismanagement of funds, for example, the lack of accountability, to maybe per se to say, are we going to see changes to ensure there is a sustainable administration? And some of the core mandates for this particular committee will be overseeing sponsorship, overseeing the league branding, and also advertising rights. And also, of course, generally in the professionalization of sports administration, something that is being seen as a move towards sustainability and accountable sports governance. Do you believe this is a crucial step going forward as far as development of sports in the country is concerned?
Okay, thank you very much. For my opinion, I see the Ruto story. I feel it's 50-50 because last time they started a process and they appointed a technical team for oversight.
Right.
So if Ruto is serious, I think the team can work. For the fans and also to manage all the sports, I think it can develop the sports, but appointing a committee to manage the sports and also to support the team, I don't know. I feel like Ruto is just asking for a committee to get salaries and
right.
to get money,
right.
and as a way of campaign,
yes.
of his ways to campaign. But if he has a very serious outlook and ideas, I think this technical group can work and to build on talent.
Right.
But for me, we can congratulate him for now because a lot of international delegates have come to look to watch our stadiums and stuff.
Right.
So for that I think it's a good move, but on the area of funding is a very serious and crucial point. So to be oversighted and also to not to be mismanaged. So I think that is my opinion. So let us see for next month, because we are here. We will judge according to the next month. So right. If it is not recognized, we go back to Ruto can find another way of campaigning, not to use the sports.
Right.
So, but we applaud him. But let us wait for next month so that we can see, because it feels like creating an opportunity for people.
Right.
But
right.
So I think this is another strategy for 2027 election. So I think it's a big waste of
right.
It's a big opportunity for people to get salary. So for me, it's a 50-50 thing. So let us see for next month and see how the technical working group will be working,
right.
And then we'll judge it from there.
That's a very crucial matter that you've pinpointed there. The fact that the big elephant in the room right at the moment is, are we really prioritizing talent or football growth generally, or we are mixing politics and sports? Because for a very long time, this has been the conversation, especially towards general elections, like you have mentioned. And we would be hope that this is not a time for no pun intended, for playing games because we're talking about sports development. But then again, seriousness needs to be put into these crucial factors. And you know, the president emphasized that this is a win-win situation for the you know, win-win partnership because the private sector are being now brought to the table as well to try and see how this you know, the general effort can be maximized. And you know, the investment is needed and must come with clear returns. You know, reversing years of mismanagement, that's something that we've talked about, that you know, had really hampered investors from coming in to try and develop this particular field of sports. And this is it is coming at a very crucial time, Elvis, because we've been with you as you know, as we speak at the moment. For example, we have the Deaf Olympics coming along in Tokyo, Japan, real soon. Now, you know, big questions are, will the such committee now factor in also inclusive sports and try, you know, to help grow, you know, the sectors such as, for example, the Deaf Football Federation, or maybe the Deaf Volleyball Federation, or all these different disciplines that really factor in persons with disabilities. What is your take generally as far as the committee stretching now it's you know, its hands to such kind of disciplines?
Okay, thank you. I believe the government will govern and will include persons with disability, and especially for the Olympics that will happen in Japan.
Right.
So I think for that and the local organizing committee, that
right.
will be their technical work.
Right.
But
right.
People are 560, and then they were reduced for people who participated in Olympics.
Right.
So I think for this time, I know government is really focusing on sponsoring disability disciplines in sports. So, and I believe government will support it 100%. And also on the preparation of next month for their camp, for
right.
training camp. So I think government has really supported that previously. So I don't think this will be a very big promise for the deaf people. But first, let us see what will happen after the Olympic, the end of Olympic, and then we'll judge from there, because right. The ministry is aware, the ministry has been supportive to the deaf sports. But I believe moving forward, we have a lot of positive potential for the deaf sportsmanship, right. For the Paralympics, and other sports discipline for the deaf people. So I think the support right. will be coming in handy.
Indeed, because you know, some of the conversations we'll be having, and we hope that you also, the committee, will be having, is to try and factor inclusivity in everything they'll be doing. Because you know, the initiative complements the existing efforts. Like, for example, construction of mega stadiums or mega stadia across the country. Now, because you cannot invest in such structures, but then again, do not factor the fact, you know, that they should be inclusive, because you should be having, you know, maybe accessible facilities within the stadiums. And also, we're talking about expansion of grassroots academies. You can also imagine, because they'll be also targeting, just like you said, you know, to prepare for Paralympic sports or Paralympic activities. Then you'll have to start from the grassroots level as well, to try and bring in different athletes from across the country. So as the committee touches base on the grassroots academies, we'll be hoping to they will factor in inclusive sports in their strategies generally, because we've seen how the government really came out to support, for example, the CHAN 2024, because it was a pamoja bid. We had Kenya included, Uganda and Tanzania. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of support accorded to football. That is the Harambee Stars in particular. So one would imagine, because we had this conversation on the ground with many para-athletes, and they were talking about how the government, despite the fact that we've seen the initiative this time round and the support ahead of the Tokyo 2025 Deaf Olympics, you know, concerns will be, are we doing this just for the moment, or it will be propelled in future as well? So this is a great initiative that we are seeing here, and we are witnessing somewhat what I can say a monumental time, because all of these questions talking about mismanagement and lack of accountability that we've seen for a very long time. Hopefully, this will change, and we are going to see some sense of sustainability, some sense of responsibility, just like Elvis has mentioned. And I would like to tie this, Elvis, with the fact that just recently as well, Mr. President talked about increasing the daily allowance of athletes. This is because this was ahead of, I beg your pardon, athletes traveling. Of course, we have from various disciplines. We have the likes of Diego. They are going to represent the country, and other distance runners as well. But something that really caught my eye was, for example, the medal rewards. They have received a substantial a change, and they will get a substantial upgrade, and they will get a different package like last time. So, ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't know, earlier on, the president announced that there will be significant changes in the allowance of athletes. And should any athlete go and represent the country and go ahead and win a gold medal, they'll receive, initially they were getting a 750,000 Kenya shillings allowance. But then again, this now, they will be receiving 3 million shillings. That has been changed by the government. If you go ahead and win a silver medal, it changes from 500,000 Kenyan shillings to 2 million Kenyan shillings. And if you go ahead and secure a bronze title, from 350,000 Kenyan shillings to 1 million Kenyan shillings. Do you see this as one of the crucial steps towards motivation and to the athletes, and all generally across all disciplines? Elvis.
Thank you very much. I think this motivation and this initiative is about just the allowance being increased is a motivation to the athletes so that they can come back with the medals, and also for the team. I don't think it's not really fair, because a lot of hearing athletes have been getting these allowances for a long time, but for the deaf athletes, the recognition has not been equivalent. So, for example, people have been training on international training, like football, volleyball. They have been given handball, basketball. They have been given even friendly matches. And I think this support has to be equivalent to the all sports discipline. So, and I think the allowance being increased to 3 million is a very good motivation, and 3 million is a very good motivation. So it will be a good thing for holiday and to spend it with your family. So I think if they really invest in training, and it will help them to really train, and of course it will encourage also the coaches to work hard and to learn new tactics, and to avoid a lot of excuses, and also to wake up very early so that they can train. So I think if this one extends to the deaf people, I think we will get a lot of gold medals as we prepare to go to the Olympics. And also this will set a very good precedence for the future. And I support the government for this initiative, and we'll see how it will pan out. As you said, Diego will be going to represent our country, and we hope for him to make our country proud, and also come back with a medal. So, and from this government support and from this government initiative, I hope this will light a fire under them, so that they can bring more medals, like bronze, gold, and silver, so that they can bring them back to Kenya.
Of course, the president made this announcement ahead of the Commonwealth Games, because we have the athletes traveling with now gold receiving with 5 times higher price, and of course silver and bronze following. You can imagine this should be quite a motivation, but. Of course, putting in, you can imagine the sacrifices, right? From the early mornings, that's like you mentioned, waking up really early, maybe late evenings as well because of practice and the dedication. This should now motivate you. But one would ask, is it just monetary compensation that really now matters. Are we just talking about money here, money there, but no investment in the facilities? You know, we have very few training facilities, for example, because I think, and this is something that was brought up with many of the athletes. If you want to run, you know, some of them are even advising, other runners to now go to the where, you know, the high altitude areas, for example, you know, in the areas of Iten or in Eldoret County, to try and maybe train, because there, you can imagine, there are better training facilities because most of the athletes come from that particular region. But you can imagine this should be inculcated across the country and put, you know, in different areas of the country, because we have budding talents across the country. So is it just a question of money? Should you win, you get this money, or when you win, you'll get this money? What about the facilities, Elvis? Because you need to prepare, you need to practice these early mornings, these late evenings, this unwavering dedication should be put. It requires a lot of repetition, which means a daily practice. Should we have such conversations as well, despite the fact that we are awarding, you know, results?
Thank you very much. One thing that we've been having a challenge on the area of facilities. Like, you know, people like Faith, the famous one, like Faith,
Yes.
They have been training. They have been training. So, and they've had a lot of allowances. I think that's the reason why the government has been giving them these allowances, and it has really helped them to access the training facilities. So for those others who doesn't have the privilege, I think the motivation has been lost. But I'm very doubtful. But I think the allowance is a good thing.
Right.
For future talent, and because validating these allowances, it sets a very good precedence for the future. So, and it will help them train and be motivated, and all those early morning and
right.
the late evenings.
Right.
We know it's very painful, and exercising of those muscles is very painful. So I think for the camp, but honestly, the challenges has been there even in the camp training.
Right.
But I think they need to invest in the facilities, so that, especially in those high altitude areas like Iten and Eldoret, so that, and also bring in the mentorship and also mentors and a lot of coaches, so that they really instill the discipline to the players and also to the training. So I think that is a conversation in the meeting that needs to happen, so that moving forward, we can see on where the challenges are,
right.
and we can see the situation
right.
on which situation to change, and you know, improve our stadiums like Nyayo and Kasarani.
Right.
So I feel that is a meeting that should happen within the coach and the government, and also to see the limitation that they're there in the sport, so that to see how we can circumvent these challenges. And we appreciate the government for what they're doing. I think we really require to give them a lot of time and to give them support, like transport. We know there is a lot of reward for people who will be winning,
right.
but it takes a lot of time to train and a lot of resources also to put in the training. So I think the government should look at the training hours and the training time that these are putting, so that they can really facilitate and give support.
Indeed, that is very well put there, Elvis. And of course, you know, we are seeing a massive effort by the government to try and elevate generally sports in the country. So kudos to the government for this particular initiative, or rather initiatives that you have been putting as far as, you know, developing sports in the country is concerned. And you know, with these financial incentives, for example, for national athletes, Kenya is really bringing a future where, or rather building a future where talent will thrive across in every level. Sports revamping of sports transformation in the country being taken to a whole different level, and that is just a glimpse of, for example, where all this will go. Hopefully, you know, from the committee that has been formed by the president, we are hoping for real changes, because for a very long time we've been wanting to see a situation where we can really match our rivals. For example, like the recent Kenya-Tanzania banter that we've been having, they have been really talking about, how our sports development has been very slow compared to our neighbors Tanzania, because for them they really value sports, and that can be that's a big, we cannot debate really with them, because it's quite clear their stadiums are really well. You can see even their club, for example, their club in different clubs are really well structured, and it brings out that particular enthusiasm that has been put as far as sports development is done in Tanzania. Hopefully we do replicate that in the country, and of course be better. Something that is notable even from the Harambee Stars and the Scorpion game, that is Kenya versus Gambia. Gambian coach Jonathan McKinstry lauded, for example, the Talanta Hela initiative that was there before, and something that he was really aware about while he was coaching Gor Mahia. He talked about that because it is very important to have such kind of systems to try and develop sports in the country. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to the end of the broadcast. Thank you very much for staying with us this afternoon. And we've talked about a lot of stuff from, the Harambee Stars and Scorpions of Gambia, the Kenya versus Gambia game, to the amazing initiative being done by Safaricom, Chapa, Dimba, to also the powerful financial incentives that the government has put across as far as development of sports in the country has been concerned. We've delved into crucial matters as far as local sports is concerned, and we'll be bringing you more of that right here at Sports City. You've been with me, your host Bill Clinton Odhiambo, alongside my colleague Elvis Odhiambo. My sign language interpreters have been Esther Kendi and Gideon Maina. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Be sure to make up time for us again next week, same time, same place, right here at Science TV. Till we meet next time, have a good time.